Linda's flight left Chicago at 8:50 a.m. and arrived in Nassau at 12:35 p.m. the same day. How long was her flight? And so what we have to do here is we're gonna put hours and minutes, and then we're gonna put 12:35. That's gonna be the arrival time, so 12:35. So 12 hours and 35 minutes. And then we're gonna put the time that the flight left Chicago, and we're gonna put that at the bottom. So it's gonna be 8 hours and 50 minutes. And so what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna subtract. And so we have 5 minus 0. 5 minus 0 is 5. And then we move on to 3 minus 5, and we cannot do that. So what that means is we have to actually borrow. So we have to go to the hour side and actually borrow a whole hour from the hour side. If we take away 1 hour from 12, that leaves us with 11. And so when we bring over this hour to the minute side, we know that 1 hour is 60 minutes. And so that means that we have 60 minutes on the minute side, because remember, we borrowed a whole hour. And when we borrow a whole hour, that means that when we come over to the minute side with this whole hour, we have to take that hour and express it in terms of minutes. So that's why we have 60 minutes here. And so on the hour side, we have 11, and on the minute side, we have 60 plus 35. And so let's write that. So on the hour side, we have 11, right? Because we took away 1 from the 12. And on the minute side, we have 60 plus 35, and 60 plus 35 is definitely 95. And so at the bottom, we still have 8, and we still have 8 hours and 15 minutes. And our operation is still subtraction. And so we have 5 minus 0, and 5 minus 0 is 5. And we have 9 minus 5, which is 4. And of course, 95 minus 50 is 45. Then we have 1 minus 8, and 1 minus 8. We cannot do that, so we have to actually go ahead and borrow 1 from this one, which turns us into a 0. And then we're going to put this 1 on top. And so we have 11 minus 8. And 11 minus 8 is definitely 3, because we have 8, 9, 10, 11. And so what that means is that our flight was actually 3 hours and 45 minutes long. That's how long was a flight, 3 hours and 45 minutes. The next question states that it took another 1.5 hours before she finally arrived home. At what time did she arrive home? So we're trying to determine the time that she arrived home. And so we have hours and minutes. Remember, it's 12:35 from the previous question, and we have to add an hour and a half. All right, now an hour and a half is simply an hour and 30 minutes, because half an hour is 30 minutes. And so that's why we have 1 hour and 30 minutes here. And of course, we have to add these two. So we have 5 plus 0, and 5 plus 0 is definitely 5. And we have 3 plus 3, and 3 plus 3 is definitely 6. Then we have 2 plus 1, and 2 plus 1 is 3, and 1 plus 0 is 13. And so we actually have is 1365. Now we have 13 hours. It's actually supposed to be hours. So that means that we're supposed to have an S here. So we have 13 hours and 65 minutes. Notice that 1 hour is 60 minutes. So we're gonna take 65 and express it as 60 plus 5. And so we have 13 hours plus 60 minutes plus 5 minutes. And we're gonna take this 60 minutes and we're gonna express it in terms of an hour. So 60 minutes is gonna be equal to 1 hour. So we have 13 hours plus 1 hour plus 5 minutes. When we add these two, we actually have 14 hours. It's supposed to be S here. So we have 14 hours and 5 minutes. And 14 hours and 5 minutes, what that actually is we actually have 14:05. Now 14:05 is definitely the 24-hour clock, but we want to express our time in the 12-hour clock. And so it's going to be 12:05 p.m. And we know that because if we look at this chart, we have 14 o'clock, right, in 24-hour clock. 14 o'clock is actually 2 p.m. in the 12-hour clock. So if we have 14:05, that's definitely going to be 2:05 p.m. And so that means that the time that she arrived home is 2:05 p.m. And that's the answer to this question.